Dave from the Redneck Garage. Well, we're getting close, so close to having the paint ready to go on the truck. I've got a lot of things to do today. I've got to get door finished, I've got primer to put on, I got a block sanded down, and hopefully we'll be ready to paint tomorrow at the latest Sunday and get this thing all in paint. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the Jeep, decide what needs to be completed before we can paint, and get rocking in that. I've kind of cleared my schedule off today on a Friday to try to get everything prepped, ready to go for the weekend. So fingers crossed. Alright, I put up one of my two easy shades just so the sun doesn't beat me to death, but I've got the frame that I've got a little bit of work right here on, and this door, and then we'll be prepping those today. Hopefully we'll have the back sides of both doors painted and the back side of the frame. That's kind of my goal! Alright, when you're doing Bondo work, like on this corner, you can tell that I probably knocked this up a little high because you take your air file and then it's all straight metal. That's going to be your first tip, that you've got it too high right there, and you're going to have to tap it down with like your body hammer and then re-Bondo it, because that's never going to be better. Okay, wow. I'm making some progress though, so I'm happy. That's one of the doors, and it's prepped ready for primer and paint. There's the other one up there, and here's the windshield frame. And what we're going to do is I'm going to primer the outside. That'll have to be block sanded down, but I'm going to go ahead and flip them over and cut in the inside of the panels and let that dry, so when we're ready to paint the truck, it's ready to shoot, rather than trying to hang them on the truck. Truck body looks good. It's ready to be primered, and I've got the front fenders hung on it with my janky support cover, and that keeps them from bowing on the sides because there's really not a lot. And if you can see on this in the middle here, I put washers to separate it out a little bit so the paint will go down in that hole rather than just at the edge of it. And that's just a little trick to shim it out just a little bit. But got to wash down the truck before we prime it. But I wanted to get these doors and other stuff done before we do that. So I'm just waiting for them to dry. Alright, now that we got them in primer, I'm ready to flip them over, and we're going to put some color on the back sides of these and let that dry overnight, and they'll be ready to shoot in the morning. Hopefully with the rest of the truck. I'm going to keep prepping on that too. Man, this stuff settles out pretty quick. I started stirring it up and it had all clumps in it. So I put it on my shaker for a while, and then it still had some clumps. So now I'm going to check it to see how well it is mixed up. Alright, I got it mixed up. I'll do like that blue, lighten it up just a hair. So that's super cool. And it's a 4:1 mix ratio on the thinner. I'm using high temperature, 85 degrees, because it's about 88 degrees outside. Gonna load it into my PPS paint spraying system, which is pretty original. And we're gonna shoot some. Alright, so that's the base coat on there, and it is a little bit lighter than the original color, but really not a lot. Not a lot of difference. I wanted it to be a little more slatish blue rather than the midnight blue, and it did. It looks really good. So I'm super happy with that. We'll be clearing it here in a few minutes. Alright, so I got the frame and the doors painted with the blue, and it looks really good. Super, super good. Good gloss. So I had forgotten about the valance panel that goes underneath the windshield. Windshield wipers come out. And do you think it has a dent in it? Well, of course it does! Why would it be easy? So I'm going to have to fix that before I put it in primer. It's got a good ding right here. The rest of it looks okay. There's nothing about this old Jeep from New Jersey that's been easy, to tell you the truth. Alright, let me get started on this. Lord! Okay, so that's going to be the end of today's video. I've got everything in primer, everything is ready to go pretty much. I've got some wet sanding to do in the morning, some block sanding, but other than that, man, we are about ready to put some paint on this sucker. I've got my big tent set up in case we get a little drizzly rain, and we should be good to go. I'm going to go hit the hay and get up early so we can put some blue on this truck. I'm David from Redneck Garage. Keep turning wrenches.